So we're going to be talking into the body again today. So if it is safe and appropriate, laying one hand on the heart space or the cauldron of motion and one hand on the belly, the cauldron of warming, and just beginning to notice the breath. Notice where it is landing under or between these two hands. And just beginning to breathe into that touch, into that connection with the hands. Intending and flowing the breath into that touch. Knowing that the breath and the touch combined are our own personal medicine. Dropping into the moment, being present. Open yet protected as you receive this transmission. So my voice is often a little croaky and deep at this on these recordings because they're more often than not the utterances I make. The first utterances I make in the day, apart from the good mornings to my cat, who often needs feeding the second anyone opens their eyes. I'm feeling a bit sneezy today. I'm feeling a bit sneezy. It must be the start of pollen. I don't suffer badly, thank goodness, but I do feel it at the times. You see, I'm being alighted already to the plant life and herb life, which is what I wanted to speak into today. The body is the portal. We're aware of that from things that I've spoken about before. The body is the way in, the way to find this inner world that relates so heavily to the outer world. Now, in ancient Eastern teachings, I think it's Vedic, but I'm not gonna come down 100% on that. They speak, or they were taught the 10 energy bodies. So it's as if a person was like a set of Russian dolls, and the body, the physical body. So we have lots of different energy bodies, 10, but the physical body was number 5. So there's 4 within it, 4 energy bodies within it, and another 5 on the outside, with one being like an arch that isn't really like a casing. It's like an arch that protrudes from the third eye out into the ethers. So the body, the physical casing, is kind of halfway. It's kind of the midway point between absolutely being out there in the unified field of consciousness that means we are all one, and this inner world of absolute self and soul journey, and what you come here to learn and what you come here to master, etc. So it's really important in the journey of self-mastery. And in the cauldron medicine, that it's the container of life force and the mysteries and the connection with the cosmos, etc. So this relationship with the body itself is extremely important in attaining any type of outward connection. Now, yes, we can do it without. There are times when we need to sit and we need to go inwards. But with Aries, there's just been that big stellium in Aries, and now we're moving into Taurus. Aries and Taurus are, well, Aries is movement for a start. It's fire. It's movement. And we may have felt the need, it might be quite difficult to be still at the moment. And if it's difficult to be still, move. I had this conversation with one of my students the other day who was finding it difficult to do the practices and to attain that stillness that had been so medicinal for her in the past. And I was saying, well, if you're feeling the need to move, you have lots of somatic work in this method that you can do where you can still be going into your cauldrons, you can still be, doing the work, quote unquote, but in a sense of somatics, in a sense of movement. And in much the same, we've gone into Taurus, which is an earthy sign. It's earth. It's our connection to the land. It's our direct connection to it's of the farming sign, and it's along with Virgo, I think. But it's the sign of sustenance. Taurians usually have a very strong relationship with food, one way or another. And usually good quality food. If it's the high definition of Taurian energy, it's this very big relationship with quality food. And food or herbs and medicine and things that the land provide are a really beautiful way of really getting in touch and nourishing the body as a spiritual practice. I've been starting my day probably about 10 days. I've been starting my day with an Ayurvedic tea, and not like a pre-prepared one, but actually mixing the specific seeds and herbs myself. And it's like become this very deep, I've always had a kind of ritualistic relationship with my morning coffee, and I still have my morning coffee after this. I've not gone 100% Puritan, but this idea of mixing my ingredients in my teapot, in my cauldron, in my teapot in the morning, and then steeping the water, and that being the first thing that I take into my body, has really been setting the tone for my day. And I started the whole process because I'm at an age where I'm starting to feel the hormonal changes, and so far it's only sort of mild. But I was like, I want to rein this horse in. It's interesting that this is maybe my fire horse. I wanted to rein this in as much as I can, to have some mastery around what's going to happen over the next few years. And the way I can do that is to be really super kind and nourish my body, is what was coming up for me. Anyway, so I've started taking this tea, and not only has it kind of settled my mood or given my mood some sort of a bit more shape and a bit more I don't know, it all just feels a little bit more even. It's actually influenced then throughout the day what I want to put in my body again and again and again. I've also been having another Ayurvedic recipe of something to calm my adrenals. It's something that I've been working on over the last 12 months because, I've been living in this kind of chronic adrenal stress over the last few years, triggered by sort of outward events and giving up smoking. And, it came to a head last year. And so I've been taking this kind of adrenal milkshake kind of a thing. And again, this first thing, I'm having these two really pure, really medicinal drinks, and it's setting the tone for a much deeper thing than just nourishment, because it's starting to make me feel into nourishment of myself as a person, and it's just making me feel really kind towards myself is the way I'm wanting to describe it. And I was out with a friend yesterday. We took the children into one of the local parks here, and I was talking about foraging, and I was saying, there's loads of things that are coming up for me on Instagram where there's about spring, the natural plants of spring: nettle, sticky willy, garlic, the kind of the leaf of garlic, not the bulbs of garlic, but the wild garlic that grows here, and a few others. I think clover. All these plants, and dandelion, all these plants that come up now are really great for flushing out lymph, blood, liver, of all the stagnation of winter. And I was just like, isn't it amazing? So we were having a look for them all, and I'm going on a foraging mission today. But we were having a look for them all, and I just thought, isn't it incredible that this connection into the earth, once you start foraging, start forming this connection with the earth, you learn and realize that the earth is providing the air even just around you. Nettles are growing in the middle of concrete jungles. It's there around you to nourish you and give you exactly what your body needs seasonally. So, Taurus season, body. The body is the key to holistic health, to infinite connection, to cosmic connection, to this unity that we're all craving. The outside world is so divided, and yet we're craving unity, we're craving peace. So what can you do today or over the next few days to give your body something that it really, really wants and needs? And do it as an act of real kindness to self, and just see where it leads.